So this week, Joe Biden is our future next president.
President-elect.
President-elect.
January 20th.
40 whatever.
2021.
Uh-huh. And the thing is, so, he's trying to get everything together. I guess his people told him, you got to get with this group. So he got with some political rights leaders. Now, I said leaders, not activists. Not like Black Lives Matter, right? These are extinguished civil rights leaders like Reverend Al Sharpton, people like that, right?
Extinguished or distinguished?
Distinguished.
Okay. I know they old, but you know what I'm saying? We gotta go like they gone already. They still here. Okay, my bad. I just had to put it there to confuse the people. Okay. They might think you clowning. Okay, all right, go ahead, sis.
I mean, yeah, he is.
Go ahead, Terry. My bad.
Like half of them. But yeah, so they had this Zoom meeting, right? And somewhere in the meeting, one of the leaders just reminded Biden, like, you got a lot of Black support, and you still have a lot of Black support out here, but the support is kind of curious right now because we're not hearing you, have any plans for us. And so we getting kind of nervous, and, they were basically giving him advice saying, you might want to tell us a little something about the plans that you have, right? And just to, play a little something of Joe Biden's response, and then we can discuss after that.
Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. There's some things that I'm going to be able to do by executive order. I'm not going to hesitate to do it. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to do what Benita, you probably used to get angry with me during the debates when you'd have some of the people you were supporting say, on day one, I'm going to executive order to do this. Not within the constitutional authority. I am not going to violate the Constitution.
Okay. You guys hear that? Who is asking Joe Biden to violate the Constitution? Nobody's asking him that. All people are saying, and I don't know if you guys could remember back to when Ice Cube had the little dust up, when he came out and said, okay, yeah, I got with Trump. And, I asked to get with Joe Biden. I asked to get with the Democrats, but the Democrats were like, hey, come back at me after the election. I'm pretty sure we're going to win, and come back at me now and we'll let you know what we got going on. And I guess he was able to get with not Trump, but some of Trump's people, and he got backlash for that. But I kind of go back to what Ice Cube was saying. They have no plan. All they're saying, Joe Biden, is we put our support behind you 100%. Now, we just want to know, right, because your time is coming up, what is it that you have for us?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, okay, so, right. So I want to know, this is how I feel about the whole situation. I'm not saying that Black people are boo-boo the fool, but you guys know I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, right? I just fell into the whole Joe Biden thing because it came down to between him and Trump, and obviously we weren't going to vote for Trump, so we went with this. But I think at that point, when I saw all that happened, that made Joe Biden become our next president, right? And how Bernie Sanders got pushed out. I think somewhere in there, I kind of just went, oh, that's it. What Joe Biden is, this anger that Joe Biden is spitting out, this is not new. First of all, this is not new from Joe Biden. This is not new from the Democrats, right?
Right.
I knew all this was going to happen. So for him to sit up there and say, oh, yeah, you guys voted for me. You know what you're going to get? Nothing. That's not new. But what do you guys think? Do you feel like this is pretty much what it is and we just got to keep our foot on his neck? What do you guys think?
It's definitely what it is.
Yeah. What it is. I think in the back of the minds, I hate to speak for the Black community, but we have to know that in the back of our minds that we feel like there could be something inauthentic about the Democratic Party coming in, which we're what we've always got, where they pour sugar into our ear and tell us everything that we want to hear, but then they get in there and do absolutely nothing. Obama's got some flack for that. Him being a Black president, Bill Clinton, has been subsequent between all the Democratic parties that the Black community get the short end of the stick, even though they do a good job at getting our votes. They do a good job. The hiring of Kamala, the backing from Clyburn, got Biden this far, and he won. I think, though, even though sometimes you have to remember, the black community, we have a habit of being reactionary. So right now, we're feeling, okay, we had a great deal in getting you to this point. So we're kind of emotional about what are we going to get after this. Please don't let us down. And I think that's a lot of where the questioning coming from. And Biden, yes, like Terry brought up, I mean, it's no surprising of his attitude towards this because Biden has never been a back down type of person to whatever. He feel like he'll talk up and he gets kind of emotional angry, even when doing Trump. One of my times when I knew I wanted to see the debate between him and Trump is when he said, Trump said some foolishness and he said, well, you know what? Meet me on the front of the White House lawn. I don't know if people remember that, but I was like, oh, this Biden ain't no punk. But it's indicative of his character with this now. It goes across the board where he feels like, okay, don't pressure me to do nothing. I'm going to do whatever I said I'm going to do, or I'm going to say what I say. Don't expect me to give you everything you want.
Which is nothing. He didn't promise anything.
Well, to his credit, now, feel me when I say this. To his credit, the man's not in there yet. I mean, he said he's going to follow and take into consideration some of Kamala's platform and her ideas. So okay, maybe we're jumping the gun, but I share this. But I share the sentiment though. We're nervous and we're worried because it'll be a letdown if we get nothing from it. But if we're gonna vote on the hope that somebody's gonna do something on a hope, well then we have to give some kind of time from a latitude to when we see it come to fruition, right?
So you're saying
I think it's maybe
they
too early.
jumping the gun, asking him to show his cards right here before he even stepped into office?
Actually, not emotionally. Emotionally, I understand why we feel like we want to say something now. But maybe we're jumping the gun as far as actually. The man is not until January 20th is the man in presidency, and we see some fruit.
He's not. But you know why this is kind of important? What tipped them off is because, he's making moves. That's the thing. He's appointing people in his cabinet, and different things. And they're saying, exactly, got
but
to
that's
do
all
it
he's
now.
doing. But listen, that's all he's doing.
Can I just say one thing? Because he there's certain people that they asked for him not to appoint. Yeah. And he was like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm appointing this person because maybe I have history with this person, right? Yeah. Just like slapping them in the face. But not just that. Everybody else is putting in their bid. Yeah. Like everybody else is going, okay, well, we want this. And, this was what you, I guess, promised, or this is what we thought you were promising when you asked for our vote. I think it's more of that, why they're having this misunderstanding. Because what you're really supposed to do is get people to commit. You know how back in the day it's like, well, you can't get the black vote unless you do this, or the mob. It'd be like, okay, we want this to happen, or else you have like this community over here, you have their vote, something like that.
I get that.
They didn't do that, so they were like, oh, hey. And
same thing still applies to stuff like, because all the people he picked, they're not in the job until after January 20th. He's just putting his cabinet together. He can tell his people, you know what, I'm gonna choose somebody else instead of you. But until January 20th,
the people that you're putting in there are not people that's looking out for our interests. Right? As far as like,
so then you have to include.
That's not me saying that.
I get that.
Them
so you're including the black people he picked already.
Yeah, okay. Including first of all, the vice president you picked was somebody that pulled out before the voting even started in the she pulled out.
True.
And that's the person that you picked. But you're reaching out to black people. That's all.
True I'm that. Saying.
Okay, and you said pulled out, and I'm not gonna say she was pulled out. I'm gonna say that bitch was kicked out. Okay. Yeah. Therefore, and let's say it like this, because I'm gonna keep it 100. I kept on telling you guys, I'm not going to vote for the bitch. But therefore, we had no choice but to vote for her anyway because they didn't draw this bitch back in.
They're in there now. They want it.
Exactly.
So they're in there.
They want it.
So now that we have no choice but to go for her ass because they said, oh, yeah, she black, whatever. But therefore, hey, call her black if you want to. But I still think the bitch is white because she whitewashed.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So now that she's in there, long story short, I still don't think that we're not going to get nothing from him or nothing from her because they're on the same category and circumstances. So let me ask you this. What, at the end of the day, do you think these people are going to give you? Because you heard it out of his own mouth. He's not going to give you anything. And then he's talking about the damn Congress. Like, where do you get that from? Yeah, the Constitution.
Well,
why
okay.
is he talking about the Constitution when nobody even asked you that fucking question? And then there's dust, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back to Obama when he was on the damn Breakfast Club. When they asked you, and I believe it was Charlemagne, when Charlemagne asked him specifically, what did you do for the damn black community?
Let me answer that. You know what I'm saying? And you made a good parallel, and that was so right. You know, but there's a difference between that. When Obama, we're talking a man that went through 8 years and we saw the results. We're talking a man that hasn't gotten there yet, and we're expecting him to do something. And look, why did we vote for Obama? Why did he win for Biden? Why did he win? On the hopes that would do something. The same hopes that we got from Obama. We didn't get them from Obama. So from the spillover from Obama to now, that we're feeling like, okay, we can't.
That was Obama's vice president.
But
These two people is cool.
But understand my point. You know, where we vote for them on the hopes that we're going to get something. We voted for Obama on the hope we're going to get something. We got nothing. We're doing it again right now. We're doing it again. And excuse us for having the feeling that, okay, we don't want the same episode happen with Obama happen now. So maybe the black community, we're feeling like, okay, we're trying to cajole him or come on him to like, okay, make something tangible of what you're going to do. Live up to what you're going to say. Just as Obama was saying the same thing, you do the same thing. So, of course, we might feel like we're jumping the gun, but maybe he don't understand that we don't want to feel like we're going to leave this with nothing when we put a full support by you. In Georgia, I'm forgetting her name, in Georgia, that she made sure that the black vote came out in thousands, in the hundreds of thousands in Georgia to vote for
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams, sorry, that's the name. She came out. She's a shining example of the effort the black community put in and to make sure you're come out for us, Biden. So we don't want to leave with nothing. I'm sorry if we feel like we're jumping the gun, but okay. So
well, you know what I mean. The idea is where I'm coming from is kind of like you know, essentially where everybody's pretty much, you know, saying, but, you know, kind of what I want to hold in to get, you know, again, speaking to the community, to all my brothers and sisters out there, all viewers, all our watchers, and all our subscribers. The idea is what I want to kind of get at is, you know, kind of follow the idea what Ice Cube was doing. You know, this is still a pivotal time that we should be trying to create our policies. Maybe we should be trying to create our kind of, you know, 10-point demands, 5-point demands, and have all these kind of things we should put together. Them. Yeah. Now, you did come to a point, brother, where you did say where maybe we're kind of like maybe stepping a bit too early when it comes to that, something like that. But I don't want to. Well, again, the debate still goes. Yeah. You can say yeah,
I think it's justified. Yes, we got nothing from Obama.
But my point is not to say whether it is forward or not. The idea is at least we should have the policy. So whether it's a timeline for me, whether you guys say we should do it now or whether we should do it by January 20th, hey, you guys can sit here and go back. Right? And that's fine, because the idea, it doesn't really matter if it's a yes or no, and there's no really wrong or right answer. But my point is that let's have the policies. Let's have the demands. Let's have what we want. Let's say what we want, and let's get our demands in now. So the idea, I mean, let's have them now. So the idea is whether we do take the approach now or we do take it later, at least we still have something to present.
Yes, because that's where I'm at. I'm still stuck on the damn Constitution. Obama's talking about the Constitution, a question that he never answered from Charlemagne. Charlemagne asked, what did he do for the black people? He's talking about some damn rant and rave about the Constitution. He didn't want to break no laws because he knew Trump broke laws and all this type of stuff. That's what Obama talking about. Now, here we go with Biden, and he's talking about Constitution, this and that, whatever. Ain't nobody asked you nothing about that. Why are you ranting and raving about a question nobody even asked y'all ass? So that's my whole point of my question. Yeah. Why are both of y'all asses talking about some damn Constitution when nobody even asking y'all that damn question?
Yeah, because it's
I'm
confused.
Terry.
Help me.
Go ahead, Terry.
To me, this is what the feeling I got, right? Because I thought the same thing, where I was like, that's why I played the video up to there, because I was like, the Constitution. Nobody's asking you to break any laws. Nobody's asking you to go against any Constitution. In fact, we're Americans. We believe in the Constitution. We love the Constitution. Well, parts of it. So the thing is, nobody's asking you to do that. But the fact that he went and hid behind that, because what your supporters, again, I say, these are his friends. His friends.
Thank you.
So not people that's, you know, in the streets protesting, marching, and things like that. These are people, you know, black people, his strong supporters. that is on this meeting going, okay, they basically are giving him advice. No, all the aggression is coming from him, not from them. They're giving him advice. Like, this is what we hear that's going on in the streets. And, you know, we're just trying to let you know people are getting antsy because everybody else is putting their bid in. So we are putting our bid in. And for him to come back and say, and earlier I think you said, oh, you know, people have hopes and this and that. No, people do not have hope. People did not have hope with Biden. That is not what happened here. First of all, people did not want Biden.
Well, I said our voting was a hope.
I don't even think our voting was a hope.
I think it was more against a backlash against Trump.
It was 100%.
Okay, that's a reasonable. That's a reasonable argument.
That Trump could have done a couple things. Hell, if Trump had somehow sent people checks, right, in the last like couple of months, you know, or if he had said more than one checks, he would have been president again. If he did a couple, if he did a couple,
shut up on certain things.
Bush became president again off of
checks.
Off of tragedy. He had September 11 happen. He had Katrina. That was like a whole black situation. And he became president. I'm not saying, because he sent out checks, but that had something to do with it. What I'm saying is it goes in this cycle. The way the system is set up, you have a Republican and then you have another Democrat. It goes like that. So it was set up for Trump. Trump was just such a freaking idiot that he wasn't able to continue the cycle. That's just how it goes, right?
I got you.
People want that.
Yeah.
I got you. And people do want that. And, you know, you highlight something. You know what I'm saying? Let me make this point because, okay, with Biden, exactly what he said. It's like we have to know the Constitution is basically like a blanket, you know, policy for the entire way of life in America. The Constitution is a blanket. If everything goes wrong, this is what we refer to. This is the papers we go back to, and this is what we talk about. See what I'm saying? Yes. So if y'all can't make up your mind, then you refer to the Constitution. It's a blanket policy. You know, and sometimes people use that argument to make sure or to kind of safe ground what they're trying to say. So, but he made the comparison between the Constitution and executive orders because executive orders for the president or an executive position is the loophole where you can, because you have the position to use executive order to make certain things happen. And he made a point of saying those things. Okay, well, you can't quite speak to what those things, or we don't know quite as clearly what those things you can make a executive order on and what you can't, you know?
We do know.
Well, okay, yes, we do know.
There was a list. They put a whole list. I don't have it.
No, you're right. No, so I stated wrong.
There's a list of things
there is the thing you can do
with executive order.
Well, he brought up guns, and that's true. Guns is like in the Constitution, so it's like you can't try to even up assault rifles.
He picked a tricky
one. But when it comes to
certain things he can do, but he cannot really get rid of the guns.
But
right?
when it comes to financial allocations, a lot of presidents have a lot about where the money is spent. They have a lot of authority about that, and as far as how the military is conducted, you know, they have a lot of authority and executive orders over that, and those things. Our black community is not really asking for you to go against the Constitution. Of course, they're doing it. You're in a position to make those things happen. So, of course, it's divisive.
And one of the point he was making too with the Constitution is that somebody else. So Trump did Obama did things in the Constitution. I think part of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, was done through executive order. And then, I think the order for you to have, or you can have existing pre-existing conditions, but you could still get covered.
Yeah.
And so Trump came in and was able to get rid of certain things in the Affordable Care Act that sort of undermined the Affordable Care Act, right? So Biden was saying, look, there's certain things that what's the point of me doing, even if I can, right? First of all, he said he's not going to violate the Constitution, which nobody's asking you to. Then he said, even if I can, what would be the point? Because somebody else can come along and say, well, you did that by executive order, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Nobody's asking you to do any of that.
You know what? We gotta know. Biden is kind of emotional. He's gonna be a president for the next 4 years. He's kind of emotional. Let's keep that in mind. He's kind of an emotional as president. Like, I guess, Don't careful what you say to Biden. He ain't no punk.
Oh, very much so. You see that coming in, right?
You see that coming in. So I guess we gotta take. That's what we could take from this.
Yeah. So right now, hands are tied.
Exactly. But I don't want to keep harping on this. My whole point for bringing this up, and I'm gonna keep on bringing this up, right, is we are stuck with this man. We're stuck with this administration for the next 4 years, right? And I'm pretty sure that everybody's awake now. Trump woke everybody up, and I'm going to keep on doing this because I don't want anybody to go to sleep. We're not going to go to sleep because we just so happen to have a Democrat in here. You know, we have this infatuation with Obama. We're thinking, oh, it's going to be the next Obama term. We should not have gone to sleep under Obama, and we are not going to go to sleep under Biden. So we're going to stay awake the next 4 years and be on his neck and call out everything he's doing.
Right.
So the next 4 years, hey, we're watching Kamala too.
No, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
True.
And the next 4
Whole
years,
administration.
at least
Oh, yeah, Caramel gotta be
we
careful.
can make a better decision. A better decision, you guys. You know, join us in on this conversation. Like I said, this is the first of many conversations that we're gonna have about this administration. You guys hit us up, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you are. The PM Hour.
We all there.